I spoke with my lawyers again because there are two of them that are dealing with this. I think because of what I said about my extremely pro-Israel lawyer, and so they put this other guy on it because of concerns over the other lawyer's conflict of interest because she loves Israel so much, and they sounded more competent today. So I feel like they didn't like my video I posted where I was talking to my parents because I was kind of mean to my mom. But they didn't. I don't think they mind this, do they? Like, do they mind when I wear my turban, my sparkly turban? Probably not. But I think they didn't like that I was mean to my mom. And the reality is that sometimes I am mean when I feel like people are lying to me or when I'm frustrated. But generally, I'm a nice person. Not always, though. It seemed like my lawyers were concerned about the fact that this broken door was 7 years ago, and clearly my mom didn't believe that anybody broke into the house, even though the door handle was ripped off. And I told her, clearly someone broke my door specifically upstairs, and they didn't break any other door, and it was intimidation. And she said, well, I don't understand how this relates to what's happening in Colorado. And I said, well, here, and she also said, well, that was 7 years ago, or 5 years ago. How is that relevant to this case right here? And I said, well, it's what I can prove. I can prove that 7 years ago someone shot a bullet past my dad's head. And I can prove that 7 years ago someone broke into my house and ripped my door handle off. The day after this girl told me that she got raided over something and she got interrogated by the feds. I can't prove that this guy Cody handed me a loaded gun and he didn't tell me it was loaded. When I found out it was loaded, I cleared it out. I tried to give it back to him and then he shot a cap gun at me. I can't prove that because Cody will lie. I can't prove that this guy at this golf course down the street sat down across from me the day after I said the FBI should leave Colorado Springs on the internet, and he sat down across from me and he talked to his friend. He was talking about how he's from Quantico and then fakes like he's drawing a gun on me. I can't prove that. But I can tell you that, and you'll say, well, he's mentally ill. Why should we believe this guy? And you should believe me because it's happened other times and I can prove it in some cases. In some cases, I can't prove it. How am I do you think I can go find this guy that was waiting for me in the elevator who's like, I know you're about to drive north? Which, I know that's like the weirdest story in the world. But I'm just saying my stories are weird because they're true. True stories are weird. This guy handing me a loaded gun and then shooting a cap gun is weird. So my lawyer said that they're going to request a second, or they're going to allow me to request a second competency evaluation, but it's up to the judge. And they sound like they don't believe the judge is going to care. And I told him, I was like, well, the judge might be afraid of getting in a lot of trouble because he's already shown bias in this case. And if he doesn't let me get a second competency evaluation from someone that's like a Harvard person, then he's showing extreme bias here. And so that's what happened. We talked about what I'm trying to do. She's like, well, why are you talking about these people threatening you all the time? And I was like, well, I'm trying to create a reasonable doubt scenario because, okay, so if you're a lawyer, you know this. If you're everyone else, you don't know this. So for the grand jury, there is a limited amount of proof that you have to provide. But for a petit jury, which is like a trial jury, like the jury that I'm going to be heading towards that will decide if I'm guilty or not, I have a reasonable doubt requirement, or they the DA has to convince them beyond a reasonable doubt. And if I can show that throughout for a long time I've been threatened, I've had bomb threats at my work, I've had bomb threats in my classroom while I was taking a test there, and the same month, I'm pretty sure this was all the same month, it was at least within 2 months, my dad had to evacuate his office because someone left suspicious packages there. I mean, if I can show all these situations in which I have been intimidated, then maybe I'll create a reasonable doubt scenario. I don't know what is actually going to happen. I know that tomorrow I'm going in for court. And if the judge declares me incompetent, y'all aren't going to see me for months. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I know that I've got my letters out. I haven't been sending out letters other than, like, I sent some to some state senators and then I stopped. And I feel like hopefully the judge has enough pressure on him. He's going to have to let me get a second evaluation, but you never really know. So, the Venox Amis, if I am allowed to do a second competency evaluation, I think they're going to be in March, and there'll be a full presentation. I will have a big, tiny stage probably, where I'll be on a tiny stage, but I'll be tiny on the stage too, because I'll make myself tiny, and I'll give a real award ceremony. I feel like the Venox Amis are difficult because I always get to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I want to pick Popular Monster, or I don't know if I want to pick Promise Me, and I don't know if I want to pick, but then I listen to I'm having a lot of trouble deciding on the Venox Amis too, because both the Christian songs are that good too. And then Manchester Orchestra, it's kind of hard to not give them an award. But then, like, am I going to let Bad Flower beat them? I don't know. I don't know if Manchester Orchestra has been nominated for a Venox Emmy before. So I want to do the Venox Emmy Award. We'll see what happens. Don't keep your fingers crossed, because this judge, he clearly does not like me, and he wants me out of the picture. All right, well, theoretically, I'm not saying he does, but he definitely locked me up for doing very, very little before during a COVID-19 scenario, and I thought that was crazy. So I received my first email from someone that was not a generated response by a court system that's like, we do not handle these sort of cases. Your letter has been archived. And it came from the dean of Wake Forest Law. And what I told her in response to her, she said, well, we're dealing with COVID-19. I'm busy. I can't help you with this. And I told her, I said, well, this is the kind of court case that can make a lawyer famous. And if you know someone who's a really good lawyer, send them my way, because they could make their career off this case. This could be a great opportunity for them. And she said thanks. And so I did finally got a response. It's a miracle. Someone actually talked to me after all those letters I've gotten sent. I just sent that letter to the top 50 law schools, or not even, probably like 45 law schools. But that's cool. Someone responded. All right, well, I'm out of here. Might not see you tomorrow. We'll see what happens.